Meet Teriyaki, who just got his new Stunted Growth winter jacket from StuntedGrowth3.com. It's safe to say he's feeling himself a little too much. As he gets his boogie on, he fails to notice his shoelaces untied and that fat-ass bike in the way. Stunt number 1, overconfident. As he glides to his favorite overrated-ass pizza joint that only he likes, he encounters stunt number 2, lack of awareness. As he enters, he's greeted by Pablo, but Teriyaki is a germaphobe and doesn't shake hands. Pizza in hand, he says what's up to a random on the street and makes his way back to his '96 Honda Civic. Stunt number 3, thinking the new Stunted Growth winter jacket actually made him more cool. No nigga, it's just a jacket. A fly-ass one, but a jacket nonetheless. He still doesn't realize laces don't tie themselves. What he's about to feel is cold hard concrete. Don't be like Teriyaki. Don't waste gas money on food. And don't think clothes make you cool. They don't. But visiting StuntedGrowth3.com does. At least cooler than this nigga.
What's up, everybody? I'd like to introduce the new Stunted Growth merch link with brand new first half winter gear. We have everything from coffee mugs, hats, sweatshirts, and more. The merch has been kept limited this half, so feel confident that your product is exclusive and your confidence is second to none. Also introducing the new Stunted Growth winter jackets, each inspired by a feature on Stunted Growth. The first 3 are here. You can figure out who they are by their colorway and info on the back. This one has a hoodie, Nick's colorway, AOP. You know what it is. Also introducing Stunted Growth Consulting. Here, you can make a live video chat appointment with me, JC Stunted Growth, where I'll live watch your workout and assess your skills, giving you critique on your strengths, weaknesses, and how I think you should move going forward. Things like important additions to your game, moves, and attributes you should focus on for your position and height, college decisions, or any life struggle you're going through. Something I wish I had as a young baller, so take advantage of this right now. Guidance is priceless and critical to avoiding growth stunts. You'll find 2 different packages, so select the one that best fits your needs. Sincere thanks to everyone that supports the channel. Like and subscribe and enjoy the video. Peace. Many people compare LeBron James to Micheal Jordan for the greatest basketball player of all time, and that's fine. Depending on your age and when you began watching, that's a fair comparison. But I did my homework, and in conclusion, I can firmly say that there was a guy better and had more promise than both. Statistically, LeBron will go down as the best basketball player to ever live due to a few things: the age he entered the league, his ability to stay on the floor, and bad career decisions made by Micheal Jordan. Mike leaving for the years he did from 93 to 95 and entering the league as a junior at 21 basically disqualified him from ever holding the records LeBron will soon possess. So you can have that, but my eyes know what's up. I saw the passion, I saw the will, I saw the work ethic, I saw the killer instinct and placing teams and players on your back for decade-long rides. I saw the naturalness in his voice in interviews that countless athletes mimic to this day, even down to the words, "I have to play. What if there's a kid at the game that came to see me and I sit out? What's that gonna do to the kid?" Nigga, that's MJ's famous quote.
Fuck out of here, boy. Get that weak shit out of here. Stuff occurred my ass, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, man.
The real know the vibes.
And he goes, yes! And he looks at Van Gundy when he does it.
I would never say I was cutthroat. I was a competitor.
You can wear the shoes, but you'll never LeBron, Kobe, Tracy, Ray, Finley, Grant, Harold, Melo, Russ. You'll never be the original GOAT. But there was one guy, one so good that the history gods had to stop him before he became that. The only player to sniff God's green earth that I'd concede was better than MJ. What happened to him gives me goosebumps and makes me tear up to this day. If you love basketball and you leave after watching this video and not understand what we've lost as fans, then I don't know what to say. Without further ado, today's feature, Leonard Kevin Bias, aka Len Bias, born November 18th, 1963. died June 19th, 1986. Reason? Cocaine overdose. Hope I make you proud, Len. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Stunt number 1, cocaine 80s. In the past 2-3 years, we've seen the growth, overuse, and inception of the opioid pill and liquid heroin era. What a lot of young kids don't understand is how far they're taking it. To them, it's just a thing to do. To people who has lived through a few eras, you understand that this is just taking it to another level. About 10 years back, the weed era was at its peak. Music artists made it all seem so cool to do and be addicted to. Nowadays, you see it everywhere in mainstream media. So much so that capitalists had to legalize it and enjoy the profits of this abused substance that the kids can't do without. But before that era, there was another one. One looked at today in disgust, like, man, you doing that? Or, you're a junkie. But in the 80s, cocaine was your Molly, your perks, your Xans, your ecstasy. Everyone was doing this new drug that was passed around parties in bowls like hors d'oeuvres or appetizers. The people didn't yet know the effects of it and what getting the wrong cut would do to you at the time. Len Bias was a victim of his era, and it's sad because watching him play made it hard to find stunts in his growth. But this man was the biggest unfortunate circumstance to ever hit the game of basketball. Len Bias growing up in the 80s, where parents, colleges, agents, friends, and the NBA didn't know how to protect a person from this monster. It couldn't have happened to a more clean-cut, passionate, genuine spoken guy too. Not Len, but it did. Why? Because this is what most people did when celebrating in the 1980s. Len Bias is from Washington, D.C. After dominating high school, he went on to do the same at the University of Maryland, where he was a 2-time ACC Player of the Year, 6'9", 210 pounds of chiseled muscle, and got the best of an older Micheal Jordan as far as individual statistics in their 1984 matchup, where he finished with 24 to MJ's 21. Mike got the victory, but you could see how much better Len was. He was one of the first phenoms for his position of small forward, being the size he was and his ability to shoot the ball, which people claim was his best attribute. But all that wouldn't matter, because what Len and no one else knew was that he didn't have much longer to live. He'd die a victim of the era he unfortunately grew up in. And not just he from that draft, Chris Washburn, Roy Tarpley, William Bedford, all struggled with the drug and either died or lived a crack house dwelling life of an addict, all products of the cocaine 80s. Stunt number 2, guidance and real love. Like I said, it was hard finding a stunt in Len's game because the guy literally had it all. Not even Jordan possessed the dominant height and natural power like Bias. Imagine putting LeBron's body, motor, strength, and ability to move like a guard, and Michael's toughness, willpower, killer instinct, work ethic, and skill together. You'd have Len Bias. He was too good. What he obviously didn't have was the right people around him to guide his talents and assure his success. And no one's solely to blame, because like I mentioned earlier, in that era, no one knew what this white powder was capable of doing until it did what it did to Len. His family couldn't fathom this happening to him 48 hours after his life changed in such a great direction. Len Bias was drafted on June 17, 1986, after putting up amazing numbers in college. On June 19th, he and former Maryland teammates were celebrating his draft and insufflated drugs repeatedly over 4 hours from 2:30 a.m. to 4:30 in the morning. Insufflated meaning through a body cavity undisclosed by reports. Who knows why help wasn't called until 6:30 in the morning, but by then it was too late. Len reportedly had a seizure and died of a cardiac arrhythmia caused by overdose. For years, blame was placed on the friends he was around at the time, his family for allowing him to remain unsupervised as a newfound celebrity, and the NBA for not having measures in place for players they just drafted 2 days earlier. He shouldn't have even been at a college dorm in the first place in many minds. Who knows what really happened? But for a guy like Len Bias that seemed the nicest, willing to befriend and treat anyone as his equal, this was just unfortunate that out of everyone involved, it happened to him. Stunt number 3? There is no stunt number 3. I'd like to conclude this video by saying a sincere rest in peace to the greatest player I've had the chance to research, and a guy I'm truly hurt that we lost so soon and in the manner it was. His story isn't talked about enough, and almost 40 years later, it still brings a tear to my eye he didn't get the opportunity he worked so hard to get. Days after being drafted, man. The Celtics would gift his mother his number 30 jersey that he sadly never got to wear, and the basketball world kinda moved on. He wasn't the first nor the last tragic story we'd see or will see, but he's undoubtedly the best it's unfortunately happened to, and by far the hardest story I've had to write. Condolences to his family, salute to all that stayed through the video and got to see a legend perform. Rest up, King Len Bias.